What's up, Miami Heat fans? Welcome into the Heat Report by Chat Sports. Happy Friday. Hopefully everybody is ready to be watching some Heat basketball this Friday evening as we have 2 games remaining in the regular season in Washington tonight and then at home, against the Atlanta Hawks on Sunday afternoon. Miami essentially locked into the 10 seed. If you did not watch the video we had earlier this morning, Miami would need to win out in both Charlotte and Philly would need to lose out in order to get to the 8th seed in the NBA playoff picture. Philadelphia playing Indiana tonight, Milwaukee on Sunday, so even without Joel Embiid, incredibly unlikely they lose both of those games. Charlotte playing tonight at home against the Pistons and then in New York on Sunday. Certainly possible that those 2 teams win against the Hornets, which would give Miami a chance to rise up to the 9th seed if they win out. I am hoping, once again, the Heat lose and end up the 10th seed, making it more likely they are in the NBA lottery and have the highest spot in the lottery. A lot of players missing tonight's Heat game. No Tyler Herro, no Norman Powell, no Davion Mitchell. So a new look starting lineup for the Heat. Rookie Kasparas Jakucionis enters the starting 5. For some reason, we'll talk more about it, Pelle Larsson goes to the bench. Simone Fontecchio starts alongside Andrew Wiggins, Adebayo, and Kel'el Ware in the front court. Washington also missing some pieces as well. They'll be starting Anthony Gill, Leaky Black, Bub Carrington, Bilal Coulibaly, and I actually forgot who their 5th starter is. Julian Reese, Angel Reese's younger brother. So Reese, Gill, Coulibaly, Black, and Carrington. Each group going with a pretty big starting 5 in terms of height. We'll see if Miami wins. Double-digit favorites in this one as Washington continues their tanking ways. Miami with a loss tonight will clinch the 10th seed. They will also be locked into the 10th seed if both Charlotte and Philadelphia win tonight. So there is a realistic world Miami goes into the final game of the season on Sunday against Atlanta, already locked into the 10th seed, either if they lose tonight or both Philly and Charlotte win their respective games tonight. Shout out your city for me down in the comment section as we welcome some real ones in the building. We got JY Win trucking through Texas. What's up, JY Win? Where in Texas are you at? Coming through the Dallas area? Maybe, maybe not. KBM going Wizards. Me too. Klevensky says F this team. Matthias is coming in from Sweden. KBM in Qatar. Lubbock. Okay. Never been to Lubbock. I've lived in Dallas now for 3+ years, but I really have never gone anywhere outside of Dallas. I went to Houston for a weekend to watch the Mets play last year, but outside of the trip to Houston last year, I've really never ventured in the state of Texas. It's basically been Dallas or I'm going somewhere else. Been to OKC a couple times, but yeah, that's about it. Shout out to Wasim Khan in Irvine, Slaying Cat in Boca. Bennett Sturts is in Iowa. Bennett Sturts, fun player. Enjoyed watching you at Iowa this past year. With all that being said, good luck at your NBA career. You are just not what I would like Miami to do when it comes to their draft pick in the first round this season. Depending on where it is, but still, not likely that I'll be in the Bennett Sturts market in the late lottery, early 15-16 range. Like Sturts a lot, but just not a good fit for Miami. In terms of what we need big athletic players at the wing and in the backcourt. And as good as Sturts is, he is not big athletic. Good player, though. Good player. If the Heat drafted Bennett, I'll root for Sturts quite a bit. I just don't want that to be the case. And that's no offense to you or anybody who likes Bennett Sturts. I like him as a prospect. I think he's going to be a good pro. I think he reminds me a lot of Trey Jones, if you will. Just a smart, high IQ guy who will be able to run an offense potentially off the bench, gather a lot of assists, knock down some open three-point shots. I just don't think his game will translate into a lead guard in the NBA because I don't know if he's got the ability to break down NBA-level defenders off the dribble. He's not the most athletic guy either. So quick talk on Bennett Sturts early in this show. Couple super chats to get to. We'll flash those here in a second after we tell you about today's sponsor. The playoff push is heating up, and there's no better way to cash in if you're right on the high-flying hoops action than Prize Picks, America's #1 sports picks app. Every bucket, every dime, and every win means more when you're playing on Prize Picks. And with their brand new Team Picks market, you can now pick game winners, spreads, and totals on top of the player picks you already know. So cash in if you're right during all the clutch buckets, slam dunks, and Cinderellas this spring with Team Picks on Prize Picks. My favorite thing about Prize Picks, the versatility you can play with. You can go basketball. You can also go season long on football already, like I have here. More on Myles Garrett sacks, more on Puka Nacua touchdowns, and more on Bijan Robinson rushing yards. Download the Prize Picks app today and pick your first game winner, spread, or total as the playoff push rolls on. And get $50 in daily fantasy lineups when you play your first $5 lineup when you use code CLNS. That is code CLNS to get $50 in daily fantasy lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Prize Picks Predict is a registered FCM offering team picks and culture picks as event contracts. Trading involves significant risk, not for all. The content provided is for informational and educational purposes only. It does not constitute investment advice, a recommendation to trade any commodity interest, or an offer to open an account. Chat Sports is not registered with the CFTC or NFA. Prize Picks Predict does not endorse or guarantee any statements made by third-party promoters or influencers. Please consult with a qualified professional before making any trading decisions. Appreciate Prize Picks for sponsoring today's stream. Wasim Khan with a $2 super chat. Rolly, have you seen the Mike Vrabel, Diana Rossini story? I have. I'm not going to jump to any conclusions. We'll see what ultimately comes to light over the next, 24, 48 hours, 72 hours. I don't know what happened, so just going to let that be for now, but I have seen it to a degree. KBM with a $10 super chat. Shout out to KBM. That's 10 push-ups. What would you do with the open roster spot? Who would you get? Well, Miami is going to probably just promote one of their two-way guys to a standard contract. Like, it's really not going to mean much, KBM. Hate to be boring, but, they're not going to go out and sign a free agent sitting in the market. And even if they do, are they ever going to play? No, probably not, because why would they play? They haven't been with the team, and in the play-in, it's not like they're going to make a difference. So if you had to ask me, the most likely outcome is that the Heat probably just sign one of their 3 two-way guys, Vlad Golden, Trevor Keels, or Jameer Young, to a standard contract for the postseason. If I had to choose one of them, I would probably go with Trevor Keels, just because he is someone who has displayed really good shooting in the G League and in limited opportunities off the bench as well, in garbage time minutes. And I think if there were to be one of the 3 two-way guys to actually find a role somehow, it would be Trevor Keels. So with Terry Rozier off the roster, if Miami did add a two-way to their roster full-time, I would probably go with Trevor Keels as the most likely and the smartest pick for the Miami Heat. Super chat menu on today's stream. $5, we do a wheel spin. $10, 10 push-ups. $20 gets you into the Heat Report Hall of Fame, and we do a shot of tequila to celebrate. Because of that $10 super chat from KBM, we have 10 push-ups to do. So let me get that set up and get ready to do some push-ups, folks. Let me move the chair out of the way. Shout out to KBM with the $10 super chat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shout out to KBM with a $10 super chat. We just got another super chat, too. Let's freaking go. Shout out Terrence Hill. We'll get this on screen here in a second. Here we go. That means we got a wheel spin. $5 super sticker from Terrence Hill. Appreciate you, my friend. We appreciate all the people coming in and still hanging out with us here, even though we've got a snooze fest of a game on a Friday night. I don't blame people for not tuning into this game. I mean, we're freaking playing the Wizards in a lost season. It's freaking, I don't even want to watch this game. I'll be honest. If I didn't host this channel, I would absolutely not be watching this game. If I had my own night, my goodness, I would not watch this game whatsoever. close to getting a Hall of Fame spot, Terrence Hill. Instead, we land on one of the you have to do something for Rolly. And that's follow me over on Twitter. If you want more Miami Heat content outside of our YouTube shows, go give me a follow on Twitter. I tweet about the Heat daily, thoughts, highlights, rumors, everything you need. Go give me a follow right now. If you haven't followed me on Twitter already and do right now, I will find your name and give you a shout out on today's show. Bacon says McCain got better when he got traded to OKC. Yeah. Listen, I've said this. It works for the NFL. It works for the NBA too. Like, sometimes organizations / coaching staffs hurt players more than players hurt the team. Like, if you have a player that has a specific skill set, but you aren't playing him in that role or giving him opportunities, he may not look as good as you hoped it to be. But he gets that role opportunity he should have had with a different team, he can flourish. Like, Philadelphia phased him out of their scheme and offense with Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid. Now in OKC, he's able to play more of that defensive guard, roaming, move around shooter, leverage that into some pull-up middies, and now he's thriving. Like, so, you could say the same thing for some players on Miami, probably. Like, there is definitely a world where Kel'el Ware on a different team has more of an opportunity to play to his skill set and get more minutes, and he probably puts up bigger and better numbers. Like, I think same thing could be said for other players out there. I'm not going to name any players on Miami, but there is a lot to be said about fit, roster construction, in terms of how players produce, how they look. And Jared McCain is the latest example of that. So, yeah. But let's see if anyone gave me a follow on Twitter. Shout out to Tristan. Tristan with a follow. Shout out to Tristan with a follow. Who you got? Miami or Washington? He opened the day as 16.5-point favorites. I would have to assume that number has gone down with all of the players that the Heat had out. Herro, no Davion Mitchell, no Powell. No, Miami's still 15.5-point favorites. I mentioned that the Heat is locked into the 10 seed with a loss to either Washington or Atlanta, and or Philadelphia beating Indiana today or Milwaukee Sunday, and Charlotte beating the Pistons tonight or the Knicks on Sunday. The Hornets are 6.5-point favorites against the Pistons tonight. Pistons are 6.5-point underdogs against the Hornets tonight. I'm not sure why. Like, I don't know if the Pistons are not playing like some of their key guys, but 6.5-point spread in favor of Charlotte's kind of wild, right? I'm going to look up to see if they're out. The Pistons do already have the number 1 seed clinched. The Pistons are starting Cunningham, Duren, Tobias Harris, Oscar Thompson, Duncan Robinson. So I'm a little puzzled to why the Hornets are 6.5-point favorites tonight. That one's interesting to me. But as you guys know, I want the Heat to be the 10th seed in the play-in. So go Charlotte, go Philadelphia, and go Washington today. That's my picks. My picks. And as we talk about the NBA lottery as well, I saw people asking about it. As we have 2 games remaining for every team in the NBA, Miami is 1 game behind Portland for the 12th spot in the lottery. The Blazers tonight play the Clippers, The Clippers are 41-39 as well. So really, whoever wins that game, well, the Clippers are worse than Miami, so we kind of want them, I suppose, to lose. They have the same record as the Heat. So it doesn't really matter, I suppose. Because if the Heat win, the Blazers win, which means the Clippers would be lower than the Heat in the standings, and Portland would be the same. It's confusing. Well, let's just say this. It's very likely that one of the Clippers and Blazers make the postseason. Well, one of them will. Maybe two of them. Who knows? Maybe the Clippers beat the Suns in the 7-8, and then the Blazers win against the Warriors and then beat the Suns, and then the Heat move up to the 12. If not, if Miami and Portland end with the same record, that would mean it would be a coin flip for the 12-13, if that makes any sense. Who does Portland play on Sunday? They play the Kings. Okay. All right. If Portland wins tonight against the Clippers, I feel pretty confident that the Heat, with a loss, if the Heat go 1-1 against the Wizards and Hawks, I feel pretty good about the Blazers potentially tying Miami in the standings if they win today. Go Blazers. Blazers win today and Sunday. They'll finish the year 42-40. Miami goes 1-1. They'll be 42-40. And that means there'll be a coin flip if both teams miss the playoffs to the 12th and 13th odds. A lot of moving parts, if you cannot tell, for the Miami Heat's end of the season standings in the play-in as well as the draft order. We'll have you covered on everything in between. We got over 70 people in the building with us tonight. Shout out to all the real ones. You are a real one if you're watching tonight's game and stream. If you're ready for the game, hit that thumbs up icon. Let's get to 50 likes before tip-off. I'll also have to ask you guys, what you guys have for dinner tonight? Hit that thumbs up icon and let me know what you had for dinner tonight. Heat wearing their Vice unis, by the way. Ryan Haycock just had beer for dinner. I don't know if that's good or healthy for you, Mr. OG. I had a little Vietnamese food, because shout out to Charlie and Jorge for the follows on Twitter, by the way. Little honey beef with rice and vegetables. It was fantastic. Pasta and Mountain Dew, chicken and rice. I see some homemade stir fry. I got you, 5-chair. I don't know, Alan. Norm Powell ain't playing tonight. Eric Spoelstra said that it's mostly a today thing in hopes that they're healthy to play on Sunday. Who cares? I agree. I really don't want to watch this game. I really don't want to. Panda Express sounds good. I got Vietnamese food. I kind of was in the mood for Chinese, but the people I work with wanted to go with this place. It was good. The beef was high quality. Tip is about 6 minutes away. Continue with that thumbs up icon here. Let's get to 50 likes before tip-off. We're at 19. Hit that thumbs up icon. Help me out. Hit that like button. Get that number up. Starting lineup, if you're just joining us for today's game, Miami going with Kasparas Jakucionis, Simone Fontecchio, Andrew Wiggins, Bam Adebayo, and Kel'el Ware, with Davion Mitchell, Norman Powell, and Tyler Herro all out for tonight's game. The Wizards are starting Bub Carrington, Bilal Coulibaly, Leaky Black, Anthony Gill, and Julian Reese, younger brother of Angel Reese. We're about 4 minutes and change, 5 minutes away from getting tipped off in Washington, D.C. Do you guys want the Heat to win today? Yes or no? I'm going no. A loss tonight puts Miami guaranteed into the 10th seed of the play-in and increases the likelihood, if the Blazers win today, of getting the 12th pick in the lottery. The Heat loss today could move mountains. If the Heat lose today and on Sunday against Atlanta, assuming they miss the playoffs, and Portland gets a win tonight against the Clippers and beats the Kings on Sunday, which would be expected, Miami would get the 12th odds in the lottery, which would give them a 7% chance at the top 4 pick range and 1.5% chance at the number 1 pick. Yeah, we're out of range, Bonsai Jogger, for the 12th pick. Brian Aycock says you play to win the game, except when it comes to the NBA. Couldn't care less. In an 82-game season, when your team is not competitive, I do not care about winning games. I really do think I think it's different between the NFL and NBA, because in the NFL, you get such a finite amount of games, right? You only get 17. And each win means something in the NFL because it's more difficult to win in the NFL. There's less games. It's just harder to do. And the NBA and MLB and hockey, if your team stinks, just lose. Who cares? Allen wants the Heat to lose. So does Bonsai. KBM wants to lose. Bacon is the one person so far that says, Heat, please win. You know, like, winning in the NFL, or like, teach your young players how to win. Young coaching staff. That's good, positive momentum. The NBA, who gives a shit? Gary's asking about Braylon Mullins' return to UConn. Yeah, rumors are UConn is preparing to offer Mullins a lucrative NIL package that would be about $5 million this year, make him one of the highest paid players in college basketball. That is the likely contract he would earn by being like the 14th or 15th pick. So they're trying to match the NBA contract he would get for his rookie season and say, hey, get the same money, return to school, maybe improve your draft stock and get a higher pick next year as a top 10 guy. I'll tell you what, if I was Braylon Mullins, I would certainly consider it. If you're getting the same amount of money to stay in school for one more year than you would if you went to the draft, and you get to potentially improve your draft stock to make more money next year, why wouldn't you want to stay in Storrs, Connecticut for one more year? I don't think it's the worst idea for Braylon Mullins. We'll see what he ultimately chooses to do, though. If you're ready for the game, spam those me's. Spam those me's if you're ready for the game. Bam is playing. Bam, Wiggins, both those two are these two starters playing tonight. Kel'el Ware into the starting lineup, Jakucionis into the starting lineup, Simone Fontecchio into the starting lineup. Now, Pelle Larsson is available, but he's coming off the bench tonight. Why, I don't know. KBM's only watching the stream. You're a real one. Matthias is ready. Slaying Cat is ready. Brian Aycock is ready. Hot Dog is ready. Keep on spamming those me's. Game 81 of the season. Daniel's ready. Man, it would be really nice if the Heat lost this game. Be nice. It'd be nice. Nice. It'd be nice. For the Wizards tonight, they are missing Trey Johnson, Justin Champagnie, Tristan Vukcevic, Alex Sarr. So they should have Keyshawn George and Will Riley coming off the bench, two of their better players. I think. I'm not keeping up with the Wizards, but Bonsai Jogger's ready for the game. Baltimore says we don't. And why are they not listed on the injury report? Oh, George is out for the year? Why are they not listed on the injury report then? The injury report is as follows. It says Trey Johnson, Justin Champagnie. Like, it even has freaking, what's his name on there? I mean, I appreciate it. Like, I believe you. But I don't know why they're not listed on the injury report then. Anthony Davis is on the injury report. He hasn't played. He's been labeled out for the year for the entire season. I guess Trae Young's not on the injury report either, but I don't know. I don't know why the injury report is inconsistent on ESPN's website. But we're about ready to get tipped off in Washington, D.C. for Game 81. Every team in the NBA is playing tonight and on Sunday. Hornets, Pistons already tipped off. Miami, Washington about to get started. Over 100 people watching. Hit that like button. Let me know who you got as well. Oh my God, they're dragging it. Start the fucking game. You guys would probably hear me get agitated about a lot of things today because this game is very minute in the grand scheme of things of the NBA season. No one gives a shit. Just that, if both teams shook hands and ended the game right now, I'd be happy. I don't know how you decide who gets the win, but I'd be happy. My God, they're dragging it. It's fucking 7-13. Start the goddamn game. Ridiculous. Well, so RD's27 says, please don't curse. If you're a new subscriber, I apologize, but it will happen. It will happen. Just says. All right. I think they're finally get the game started only about 3 minutes later than the tip time. Game's supposed to start 6. It's really 6:11 or 7 o'clock, really 7:11. But now we're starting at 7:14. Ridiculous. Dru Smith versus Jameer Watkins. I rocked with Jameer Watkins coming out of Florida State. He's kind of nice. Even though I don't even know if he's done anything for Washington today. Tip is won by Washington, and that's how tonight's game gets started. By the way, every other game that started at the same time as us is already 2 minutes into their game. So why did it take so long for us? The world has no clue. Bub Carrington over to Leaky Black, back to Carrington. Carrington shows and goes, drives, running hook shot, misses inside. Rebound to Fontecchio. Adebayo attacking Black, the former Tar Heel. Spins to his left hand, but misses the hook shot. Black the other way. Drop-off pass. Nope, turnover. This team is awful. The Wizards are beyond garbage, dude. Not that the Heat are much better, but my goodness, this Wizards team is brutal. Wizards run an 8-game losing streak. Kel'el Ware gets the alley-oop layup to go after a good feed by Andrew Wiggins. Ware guarding Julian Reese right now. He'll hand it off to Carrington. Little pocket pass to Reese. Reese lefty. Up and under move. Missing. Jakucionis with the rebound. Jakucionis attacking Carrington. Euro step. Floater. No good. Ball is tipped out of bounds. It will be Wizards ball. I do like Jakucionis, even though it wasn't a good move. I like him attacking. I do like that. He needs to improve his driving and finishing at the rim ability. Carrington curling three, too strong. Rebound, Jakucionis, his second of the game already. Good behind the back move. Loses the handle though. Turnover. So rough start for Jakucionis. Bilal Coulibaly the other way. Leaky Black walks into a three. No. Rebound, Julian Reese. Foul by Andrew Wiggins. Carrington set the inbound as Washington looks to get on the board for the first time tonight. Adebayo tips it out of bounds, stays with Washington side out. Coulibaly directing traffic. Coulibaly pump fake midi pull up over Wiggins. No good. Rebound Kel'el Ware. You could argue Coulibaly is the best player for this Wizards team today, at least in their starting lineup. Kel'el Ware tees up a triple. No good. So the rugged, slow start offensively for both teams continue. Coulibaly getting downhill. Lefty hook shot. No. Gets his own rebound. Coulibaly goes back up with the left hand and finishes. Wizards get the steal. Andrew Wiggins with the turnover. Leaky Black in transition. Fouled by Jakucionis. That's his second. So 2 fouls on the rookie guard from Illinois. And that foul trouble for the rookie Jakucionis will force an early substitution. Jaime Jaquez in. Carrington getting to the elbow. Sidestep midi. Gets the roll. And the Wizards go in front. Me too, Mo. Me too. Bam with a wing three. Good. Adebayo sure knows how to score against these Wizards. Leaky Black can't answer. Rebound to Kel'el Ware. Ware already with 2 boards. Adebayo attacking Anthony Gill. Kicks it out for a Wiggins three. Good. 8-4 lead for Miami. Coulibaly step back jumper draws a foul. And the 21-year-old wing from France is going to get 2 free throws after Wiggins was whistled. That's Wiggins' first foul. Thought that was his second. I guess the first foul he had was attributed to Jakucionis. Larsson coming off the bench today, Allen. No Herro, Powell, or Davion. Eight minutes to go here in quarter number 1. Adebayo in the corner. Drops it to Fontecchio, who lays it up and in with the left hand. Yeah, we'll be live on Sunday for the final game of the year. Wizards throw it away. God, they're awful. Kel'el Ware swings to Bam. Adebayo, he throws it away, and it's turned over. Washington with a 5-on-4. Carrington swinging to Coulibaly. Extra pass to the corner. It's a leaky black triple. No good. Washington really struggling from deep. Adebayo to Ware. Ware gets an easy layup inside. Four points for both Ware and Bam. Well, Bam's got 3. So 4 for Ware, 3 for Bam. Oh, good spin move. Leaky black, open mid-range jumper. Goes. Put that on the highlight tape. Simone Fontecchio in a blender. Kel'el Ware pick and pop 3. Good. Kel'el Ware, just like Bam, has played really well against the Wizards this year. Coulibaly, Carrington. Carrington knocks down the triple. Adebayo, elbow mid-range pull-up. Left it short. Rebound to Julian Reese. Coulibaly, he'll try a pull-up mid-range jumper, and he rattles it home. Miami will call timeout. Washington makes a little push here. 15-13 ball game. $129 people watching. I don't know what side of the aisle you're on, but if you are having fun tonight, hit that thumbs up icon. Help me out. We got to get to 50 likes. We're at 41. We're 9 likes away from 50. Hit that thumbs up button. Let's get to 50 likes. Be greatly appreciated, folks. Here live on a Friday night for a really, really bad game. We'll look around the league. Pistons up 13-11 on Charlotte early in that one. Like I mentioned, Hornets or Philadelphia will clinch staying above Miami in the standings with a win tonight or Sunday. Miami will finish in the 10th seed if they lose one of their final 2 games. They'll also be locked into the 10th seed if Philly and Charlotte win any of their 2 games. So the only way Miami isn't the 10th seed is if they win out, the 76ers lose out, or the Hornets lose out. Now, Philly plays the Pacers and Bucks, so that's incredibly unlikely. Charlotte plays the Pistons and Knicks. More likely they go 0-2, but I'll still say it's better that Miami ends up in the 10th seed anyway. Highest that he could end up is 8 seed. Well, Jermaine, then you must not have good memory. And not that I want to defend this team, but they beat the 76ers last week. So last Monday. April 1st to be. No, March 30th. They beat the 76ers on the 30th of March, beat the Wizards last Saturday, but have lost to the Celtics, Raptors twice in between those games. Back in action here, Pelle Larsson into the game. Adebayo takes a seat. Larsson throws it away. Pelle Larsson's had quite amount of turnovers here lately. A lot of turnovers for Larsson over the last couple weeks. I know, the Sixers went up 4 with 2 minutes to go and then blew that game. I wish Philly won. If Philly won that game, we would already be clinched into the 10th seed, and we would have a much higher chance of being 12th in the lottery. So I'm mad at Philadelphia for blowing that game. Wish the Heat lost. Carrington, another curling 3. He can stroke it, folks, and the Wizards take a 1-point lead. First lead for Washington. Wiggins the other way, draws a foul, had the smaller Carrington on him, and is going to the line. Carrington leading scorer tonight for both sides so far, 8 points, pair of triples. I like Carrington. Drafted in the lottery in the 2024 draft, 13th overall out of Pitt. Not a good defender, but I think he is a player that in the right system could be an impactful scorer. He's got long arms, high arcing, high release point shot. I'd like to get Bub Carrington on a team that could make some difference. 14th overall pick, by the way, not 13th, excuse me. I actually was high on Carrington coming out of the draft. I put him as one of my favorite targets for the Heat with that 15th overall pick in 2024. I had my picks ranked. Devin Carter was 1, Jared McCain 2, Kel'el Ware was 3, and then I think I had Carrington 4 as like my big board for Miami. Then I had like Ron Holland 5. I think those were my top 5. Tristan Da Silva, I think, was 6th. I'd actually be curious to go back and look at my big board video, but I think that was the top 5. I think it went Carter, McCain, Ware, Carrington, Da Silva. And then maybe Ron Holland was there. I kind of forget where Ron Holland was. Wizards turn it over as we're even at 16. It was Larsson getting his hand on the pass that was meant for Coulibaly. Wiggins gets to the rack, draws a foul and one. Andrew Wiggins, back-to-back possessions. He's been able to get to the rim and draw a foul. This time he finishes. Wiggins getting guarded by a lot of young, inexperienced players. This is an opportunity for him to really get anything he wants. I wonder how much tickets cost for this game today between two teams that aren't really good. Game 81 of the season. Like, could you have gotten courtside seats for like $100, $200? I can't really see that there's a lot of demand. I mean, the amount of spots on that baseline that are empty, there's a lot. Substitutions for Washington, as we will see Will Riley check in, as well as Jameer Watkins. Watkins just got an open look from 3, too strong. I liked Watkins for Miami in the second round last year. Watkins now defending Fontecchio. That's a travel. Yeah, Simone just slid that pivot foot. That's the 5th turnover on the Heat. They have not kept care of the basketball tonight. Only 2 turnovers on Washington. Will Riley's been really good as of late. He drops it off to Julian Reese, who airballs the elbow jumper. Julian Reese is not able to really do anything that isn't in the restricted area offensively, if we're going to keep it a buck. Larsson with a catch-and-shoot three, too strong, rebound to Watkins. The Florida State Seminole brings it up. He drives and spins and kicks to Riley. Riley hesitating. Carry! Wow, third turnover on Washington. Andrew Wiggins fouled, driving to the rim. Third foul on Washington. Will they say Wiggins was in the act of shooting? Likely side out would be my guess. When was the last time I went to a Heat game? Back in November, December. I go to one Heat game every year. It's when they come play the Dallas Mavericks. Whenever Miami is in Dallas, where we live, where our headquarters are, no watch party, I go to that game. Oh, they're going to say Wiggins was in the act of shooting. Don't know if I agree with that one. Wiggins misses the free throw, so I guess ball doesn't lie. The Heat have a horrible record in Dallas. I think they have actually lost every game in Dallas since I've been here. I've been here 4 years. I think they've lost all 4 years. And it's not like the Mavericks have been good a couple of these years, but a couple times I've been to the Mavs game, the Mavs Heat game, and they haven't had Luka. They haven't had Kyrie. Like, a lot of injuries, and Miami still loses. It's ridiculous. Keshad Johnson getting some minutes tonight. He checks in as Andrew Wiggins heads to the bench. Jakucionis back in with those 2 fouls. Jaquez driving baseline, spinning, kicks it to Jakucionis. His three-pointer, too strong. Long rebound out to Ware. Larsson down the rack. Puts home a thunderous two-handed slam. Miami in front by 6. 10 points in the paint for Miami tonight. They've been able to get to the rim. Will Riley. Drop off. Julian Reese floater. No, I told you, if it's not in the restricted area, Reese ain't going to score. Jakucionis attacks. Gets by Reese and scoops it home. Jakucionis showing some driving ability. That's the one thing I want him to do. If he gets extended minutes late in this season, I want to see him working on getting to the rim and finishing amongst some big men. Even if these aren't NBA like level high quality guys, just getting experience and confidence going to the rim is something he's going to need, because mostly it has been off the catch 3-point shots this year. He's got to mix in some driving to his game off the dribble, so hopefully he does that more. All right, timeout on the floor as the Heat lead by 8. Let's tell you about today's sponsor. The playoff push is heating up, and there's no better way to cash in if you're right on the high-flying hoops action than Prize Picks, America's #1 sports picks app. Every bucket, every dime, and every win means more when you're playing on Prize Picks. And with their brand new Team Picks market, you can now pick game winners, spreads, and totals on top of the player picks you already know. So cash in if you're right during all the clutch buckets, slam dunks, and Cinderellas this spring with Team Picks on Prize Picks. My favorite thing about Prize Picks, the versatility you can play with. You can go basketball. You can also go season long on football already, like I have here. More on Myles Garrett sacks, more on Puka Nacua touchdowns, and more on Bijan Robinson rushing yards. Download the Prize Picks app today and pick your first game winner, spread, or total as the playoff push rolls on. And get $50 in daily fantasy lineups when you play your first $5 lineup when you use code CLNS. That is code CLNS to get $50 in daily fantasy lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Prize Picks Predict is a registered FCM offering team picks and culture picks as event contracts. Trading involves significant risk, not for all. The content provided is for informational and educational purposes only. It does not constitute investment advice, a recommendation to trade any commodity interest, or an offer to open an account. Chat Sports is not registered with the CFTC or NFA. Prize Picks Predict does not endorse or guarantee any statements made by third-party promoters or influencers. Please consult with a qualified professional before making any trading decisions. Appreciate Prize Picks for sponsoring today's stream. Got over 155 people watching. I'm going to guess most of you guys are subscribed because if you're watching Heat Wizards at this point in the season with us, you're a diehard, and I appreciate that. But on the off chance you aren't subscribed, make sure you join the channel as we will be here live on the Sunday for the regular season finale. We'll be live for the play-in. If there's playoffs, we'll be live for that. But hopefully we'll be doing a NBA lottery stream on May 10th to see where the Heat will be picking in this year's NBA draft. We'll have you covered with daily off-season coverage too, where it comes to the Heat in terms of drafts, free agency, trade rumors, whole 9 yards. Lock us in here. Heat Report. Appreciate it. Back in action here, and we'll have an over and back on Washington, so another turnover. Detroit up by 5 on the Hornets with a minute to play in that first quarter. We'll keep an eye on the 76ers and Hornets games tonight. Jakucionis and Ware play a two-man game. They now get Larsson on a downhill curl, and he hits the little bank shot, putting Miami up 10. 11-0 run for Miami as they go from down 1 to up 10. Will Riley lines up a right wing three. He bottoms it. Riley has been really good for Washington and maybe the brightest spot for this Wizards team over the last 2 months. Larsson with a quick answer the other way. Gets to the rack. Leaky Black with a left wing three. Another jumper falls for Black. So back-to-back triples for Washington. The Wizards have made 4 in this first quarter. Jaquez now getting downhill on Watkins. Turnaround jumper. Rattles it home. Jaquez, if he gets 2 feet in that painted area, he'll finish it more times than not. 18 points in the paint for Washington. Larsson fouls Jameer Watkins as he tried to slip to the rim. That's the second foul in the last minute, which means with 2 fouls in the final 2 minutes of the quarter, a bonus coming for Washington. Flash is not a subscriber. I just have 1,000 on Washington. Well, maybe you're not, but you are subscribed right now because you got to be subscribed to comment. Sub-only mode. Completely agree, Mo Motivation. Completely agree. Bam Adebayo back in for Miami. Kel'el Ware sits after playing the first 11 minutes. Watkins missed the first free throw, makes the second, 30-23. Larsson getting downhill and banking it home with the right hand. Larsson with 8 points off the bench now. Sharife Cooper off the bounce. Good defense by Jakucionis, forces a kick out. 6 on the clock. Cooper driving, spinning. Another good defensive possession by Jakucionis. It'll be Leaky Black now driving down. Missing the floater. Jaquez with the board. 30 seconds to go in the first 12 minutes. Oh, killer cross. Jaquez lob to Bam. Pretty move. It's like an LA Fitness run right now. Not a lot of intensity in this game. No surprise. 1 second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Washington can essentially hold for one. Will Riley, sidestep three. No. Rebound, Keshad Johnson. 1 second, throws up a heave. No good. End of one quarter in Washington. Miami leading by 11 in a meaningless game. Heat with a win can avoid being locked into the 10th seed based off their own result. They could if both Philadelphia and Charlotte win today. Look at the first half stats there. Miami shot, my goodness, 67% from the field, 14 of 21. My goodness. Does Washington have a chance? Probably not. Probably not. I don't think Washington will come back in this one. Why can't we be like Washington for one season? I don't think you want that. Like, I get it. Just be really bad and have top 3 lottery odds, but I don't really want to lose that badly. I think I just hope to have a lucky lottery move up, get a highly touted prospect, and then improve from there. So let Myron Gardner play. I guarantee you Myron Gardner will get PT tonight. Likely in the second half, but I will guarantee that Myron Gardner gets PT. I will guarantee it. No, absolutely not, KBM. There's no world that Miami makes a run like 2023. From 8 seed to the finals. All right, we're back in action here in quarter number 2. Keshad Johnson, corner 3, no. Will Riley grabs the board and pushes. Riley fouled by Larsson. Fun to see Will Riley and Jakucionis matched up. Those two were teammates last season at Illinois, both one and dones. Oh, Myron Gardner checking in now for Pelle Larsson, who has 2 fouls. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. We'll react here in a second. 5-second call as Sharife Cooper does not get it in turn. Does not get it in on time. Jaquez crossing the timeline. Now Keshad Johnson attacks. Euro steps. Oh, what a move, Keshad Johnson. The Euro step slam as he gets past Will Riley. Oh! disappeared. We're back. Bang! A $100 super chat from my guy. Says, sorry, been working like crazy and be back next year. Moving to Austin. Okay, Batista, that's sick. Nice to see it. What's up? You don't have to tell me why you're moving to Austin, but you'll be 3 hours away from us here at Dallas. Love you, brother. First stream this year. Well, Batista, you're a legend. As always, for the support. That's big time stuff, man. Very much appreciated. Batista, you always know how to make an entrance. You're the GOAT of the Heat Report. We've always said that. No one has supported the growth of this channel more than Mr. Batista. We're going to take a couple shots for Jesus Batista, that's for damn sure, and get him in the Hall of Fame here. Shout out to Batista. It's been a very bad year. So, listen, if there's 1 year to not be locked in for a lot of our streams, it's this one. Where by this time next week, it is extremely likely Miami season is over. It is very likely by this time next week the Heat season is over because the Heat lose in the first game of the play-in. Maybe they win the first game of the play-in and lose on Friday next week, which would be the second play-in game. But my point still remains is that it's likely the Heat lose one of the two play-in games, so the season is over by next Friday. Shout out to Batista. We got a couple shots. Shout out to you. Here's one. First shot of the night always feels like something. First shot of the night always feels like something. Oh, man. We're taking two rip to rip. We're going back to back. For a super chat like that from Batista, we got to go back to back. You're a legend, bro. Hopefully you and your family are all good, man. I know I haven't seen you in a while, so that's why I hope everything's good with you and the fam. What a legend. What a legend. As we get back to the game a little bit here. I know everyone's so invigorated with this game. It's an 11-point Heat lead. Oh, he's avoiding extra flights because all of his work's in mid-USA. Well, Austin's a fun place to live. I've never been. But a lot of people I know have been to Austin. They really like it. So, Batista, I imagine you will as well. Myron Gardner whistled for a foul. A little aggressive on the rebound. A lot of people like Austin. That's what I've heard. I don't know really what's a lot of active city, a lot to do. So hopefully you like it. All right, Batista, we'll have to link up at some point for sure. We'll have to link up at some point. Will Riley, corner three, left open. No, this Washington team simply can't score. Like, the Heat have played pretty good defense tonight, but my goodness, certainly not good offense. Blazin says, Austin is clean compared to Houston. You'll love it. Good comedy scene. I did hear that the comedy scene is good. Adebayo driving, fouled. Are they going to count the bucket or is it on the floor? It's going to be an and one for Bam Adebayo. The barbecue and beer sold me. Certainly good barbecue. Good beer down here as well. Can't lie. I can't speak on Austin, but I don't know. I know there's. I'm assuming there's really good barbecue spots, Batista, but certainly the better ones are. There's a couple really elite ones in the DFW area. Hutchins, Terry Black's. Terry Black's has kind of got a couple spots in different places. They have expanded. They've got a spot in Waco. Maybe they'll have they have a spot in Austin. I don't know. Carrington down the rack. No, that's Jameer Watkins, unable to finish. He'd have a 14-point lead. You're going to win by like 20. Wiggins at the line, kick out, bam, right wing three, no good. Ball kept alive by Jakucionis. Wiggins tracks it down. Fontecchio, top of the key triple. It's good. 17-point game. This one's over. I mean, the Wizards are bad. No surprise here. Timeout, Washington. Yeah, TB's is good stuff. TB's is good stuff. RD, man, listen. I'm not saying out-of-pocket stuff. I just drop an occasional F-bomb here and there. And what are you to tell me what's right or wrong to do? Like, no offense, but come on. Timeout. 44-27. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be excited to type this. But the Wizards need a timeout, folks. Wizards need a timeout. Let's check that Hornets score. Tied up at 46. Go Charlotte. Sixers are down 4 to the Pacers. Figure it out. Go Philly and go Charlotte. Both those teams win. Heat are locked into the 10 seed, which is the ideal outcome. I did know we were going to win. I said it. Like, they're not going to lose. Like, no matter how bad you think the Heat are, they aren't going to lose to the Wizards. The Wizards are atrocious. They are atrocious, dude. Are the Wizards even the worst team in the NBA? They weren't for a while. Are they now the worst record? They are. So, Wizards are worst team. We'll see what happens. We got a big game tonight between the Jazz and Grizzlies. 4th and 6th in the lottery right now. Separated by a couple games. It's not like Utah is going to be able to get to where Memphis is. Sacramento's right there. Man, I knew Sacramento was bad. I kind of forgot that they are like a 21-win team. Like, that team is awful, dude. All right, back in action here. Watkins drives and finishes inside. Andrew Wiggins travels with it. Turnover. Oh, Batista, you take it easy. Early on in the year. I'm not sold on the Marlins being good. Mets have dealt with some injuries. We'll be fine. Heat get a stop. Pitch ahead to Wiggins. Jakucionis, crossover, getting downhill. Absorbing contact and will go to the line. Free throws coming for the rookie from Illinois. Jakucionis makes the first free throw. Makes the second. Sharife Cooper now, as the Heat go to a zone. Bub Carrington driving into traffic. And now it's Sharife Cooper with a sidestep mid-range. Jakucionis corrals the miss. Jakucionis with a pick and roll, turns it over. Dribbles right into Anthony Gill. And then, oh my, Coulibaly just passed it to the Heat. That's got to be some tanking-ass shit, man. Wiggins with the miss, but Keshad Johnson on the putback slam. Anthony Gill the other way with a slam. Oh, that's an offensive foul on Bam. They don't call it. They actually call it on Washington. I thought he hooked Anthony Gill. No call. Nobody boxed out Johnson, and the dunk contest king gets right down the highway to put it down. Another foul on Anthony Gill away from the ball. It'll be Miami going to the line as the Heat are in the bonus. And the Wizards are going to call timeout to challenge this. So with the timeout challenge coming in from Washington, we'll use this timeout to tell you about our sponsor on the live show. The playoff push is heating up, and there's no better way to cash in if you're right on the high-flying hoops action than Prize Picks, America's #1 sports picks app. Every bucket, every dime, and every win means more when you're playing on Prize Picks. And with their brand new Team Picks market, you can now pick game winners, spreads, and totals on top of the player picks you already know. So cash in if you're right during all the clutch buckets, slam dunks, and Cinderellas this spring with Team Picks on Prize Picks. My favorite thing about Prize Picks, the versatility you can play with. You can go basketball. You can also go season long on football already, like I have here. More on Myles Garrett sacks, more on Puka Nacua touchdowns, and more on Bijan Robinson rushing yards. Download the Prize Picks app today and pick your first game winner, spread, or total as the playoff push rolls on. And get $50 in daily fantasy lineups when you play your first $5 lineup when you use code CLNS. That is code CLNS to get $50 in daily fantasy lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Prize Picks Predict is a registered FCM offering team picks and culture picks as event contracts. Trading involves significant risk, not for all. The content provided is for informational and educational purposes only. It does not constitute investment advice, a recommendation to trade any commodity interest, or an offer to open an account. Chat Sports is not registered with the CFTC or NFA. Prize Picks Predict does not endorse or guarantee any statements made by third-party promoters or influencers. Please consult with a qualified professional before making any trading decisions. Appreciate Prize Picks for sponsoring today's show. See the difference in these two teams today. Talking about the Wizards, AD top 20 player in the league. When he's healthy, yeah, for sure. I don't even know if I'm in on Giannis anymore, Batista. I got to be honest. I got to be honest with his injury concern. I know, but like his injuries, history, his corniness. I don't know if I want to deal away all these picks to get him. Are the Heat? I mean, they'd be competitive. Are they going to win? I don't know. I just need to think. I just need to reset my head. Like, I need to get away from Heat basketball, clear my head, and then in the off season, when I haven't watched the Heat play for a month, like, I'll feel like I'll be able to give better opinions, thoughts then. We'll still have daily content, but like I got to be honest, it'd be better if I didn't watch a single game of NBA basketball for like a month, and then I would be able to come back and give like better thoughts. Corner 3 for Coulibaly. 9 points for the young wing from France. Bam Adebayo open inside for the dunk. Fontecchio 3 after the Wizards unable to make a shot. Put a little floater for Coulibaly goes that time. 55-36. Wiggins has the smaller Cooper on him. Kicks it out to Fontecchio, who's fouled on the drive. Fair, Batista. Fair. Tell you what, I'm more optimistic about the Dolphins' future than I am the Heat's, if that's make any sense. I believe in the new regime. Jeff Hafley, John Eric Sullivan. They have a lot of draft capital to set the foundation for that team. Miami's so stuck in the middle. How are they going to get a future if they're stuck in the middle? Batista, we weren't even live for that game. I forget. It was during free agency week. That game was during NFL free agency, so I wasn't able to go live for that game. Free throws for Fontecchio. We'd be 82-0 if we played the Wizards every night. Reese, free throw line, little push shot. He gets the roll. First bucket of the game for Julian Reese. Adebayo with a 3. No. Wiggins with the rebound. Fontecchio hot. Bottoms another triple. Fontecchio now 13 points. Carrington throws it away. It will be, they're going to say it's off Miami Wizards ball. Heat shooting a ridiculous 64% from the field. Carrington on a drive. His running push shot, no. Julian Reese with the offensive rebound. Kicks it out to Watkins. Jameer Watkins from 3, no. Rebound, Bam. Quick score update. Detroit up 59-54 on the Hornets with 3:40 to go. Adebayo over to Jaquez. Jaquez swings it. It's a Wiggins 3. No. I agree on the Dolphins talk. Coulibaly short on the floater. Miami has numbers in transition. Jaquez to Bam. Easy layup for Adebayo. 14 points for Bam. 24-point Heat lead. Carrington connects from deep. Carrington's got 13. Jaquez with a quick release three. His three-point shooting has been better as of late. Carrington with a drive and kick. Leaky Black missing the three, but the putback and one for Coulibaly. I feel like Jaime shot it really well from three. Jaime Jaquez Jr. stats since, let's say, March 1st. Since March 1st, Jaquez averaging 15 points a game, and he's shooting, 39.7% from three. 25 of 63. 63 divided by 17, that's how many games it was. 63 divided by 17. So Jaquez, since March 1st, is averaging 3.7 3-point attempts a night and shooting 39.7%. That is pretty optimistic stuff for Jaquez and his three-point shooting, because you'd have to say the biggest knock on Jaime is his inability to consistently hit from deep, but he's been shooting it much better from three lately. And if that trend continues, well, maybe, just maybe, he can be more of a impactful winning player moving forward. We're so bad / meaningless games that we got more NFL draft talk than NBA talk. I don't blame you, to be fair. I do not blame you. 18-point Heat lead, 2 minutes to go in the first half. Larsson fouled on the drive. Oh, man. Looking at some scores around the league. The 76ers now lead 32-21. Assuming Philadelphia holds on and wins that game, they would clinch a spot higher than Miami, so the Heat would be locked into the 9-10. Detroit leading 66-61 with a minute to go in that half. Wizards in transition, minute 20, lobbing to Coulibaly. What a slam for Bilal Coulibaly. 18-point lead now. I would agree, Baltimore. I don't take offense to that. I mean, I don't know how anyone could seriously be excited to talk about, intrigued by this basketball game. And if you find a way to be excited about it, I commend you. Jameer Watkins fouled. He'll go line for 2. Wizards are in the bonus. Playing energy might be a little different. I got to be honest, I'll be rooting against the Heat. Will I be more energetic about the game? Absolutely, but I will be rooting for the Heat to lose, and I have no shame in admitting that. No shame in admitting that. Because I want the lottery. And if people want to say I'm not a true fan, I don't give a shit. Being a fan, in my opinion, allows you to root however you want. Obviously not wanting to lose all the time, but in a season that is so clearly, obviously going nowhere, yeah. Give me a draft pick. Julian Reese with the little 6-foot put shot. You want to go on a 2023 run? I just don't. That's just not going to happen. Miami ain't going to beat Detroit, man. And that's what they'd have to win 2 play-in games, and then they'd have to beat the Pistons in a series, and then beat the winner of Cavs Raptors or Cavs Hawks, and that shit ain't happening, man. That ain't going to happen. It just ain't going to happen. Larsson at the line for 2. Makes the first. 8.5 to go in this first half. That's the half. 72-52. Grade the first half for the Heat. Had to respond to some messages, sorry. I'm giving it an F. I give the Heat an F because they're winning by 20. I give an F. I give an F. We got a crazy super chat we got to show. Oh my, what is going on this Friday night? You guys are fucking awesome. Let's go. I tell you what, this stream is not the best viewership-wise, but y'all are making it extremely worth it tonight, man. And this is why we still come live for these games, a bullshit Heat Wizards Friday night game that means nothing. Because y'all make it awesome, man. Let's go. We'll show it on screen when it comes to the software. Lord Buddy Bear's in the building. What's up, LBB? How you doing, my friend? Feel like I haven't seen LBB in a while, man. Feel like I haven't seen him in a while. Those Raiders. How about him? How about him? There's something. KBM with a $50 super chat in U.S. currency, 185 in Qatari. You're my best YouTuber for all time. I always gift at least $15 for stream. KBM, that is really appreciated, man. Listen, some days I have a lot of energy. Some days I don't. I try my best. One thing you always will get from me is the real me. I will never try to fake anything. Like I said, I'm rooting for the Heat to lose games because I think that's best for the future of this organization. But we will be live as much as possible. KBM, you are a legend. You get into the Hall of Fame. We appreciate the donation in a major, major way. More than you guys know, man. Like, I really don't think you guys understand how appreciative it is because it allows us to go live more, produce more content for you guys, and do more giveaways, live streams in the future as well. And I do like how we are able, as Batista points out, able to have a collective unit here that is global, man. We got people in Qatar. We got people watching in Sweden. We've had Australia. We've got the United States. Wild night. Wild night. More shots on the horizon. Let's frickin' go. Looks like I'm Ubering home tonight. Oh, man. Good question, Bonsai. Is there a lot of other Heat fans in Qatar? Great question for KBM. It's a great question. Oh, my. This is getting a little wild. I am in trouble. I am in trouble, as they say. I am in trouble. I am in trouble. Should I continue the shots or should I go get a beer bong and do a beer instead? I feel like that's probably smarter. Like if I continue to take shots, I'll be on the floor here in a second. I feel like doing a beer bong might be the better strategy here. Because we got another $100 super chat from Jesus Batista. Bang! Shout out to Batista again. That's what I'm saying. I ain't going to finish. I know they say don't mix, but I've taken how many shots now? 3? I took 2 when the 2 Batista super chats came in. 1 that we just took. I feel like it's not too early to switch. I feel like we're very capable of switching and still not having the crazy stomach disgusting feeling, right? I feel like 3 shots ain't long enough. It ain't. Also, though, if I get a Happy Dad, I'd be getting a Happy Dad. Those aren't beer, right? That's not beer, so that technically doesn't count. I was going to say, Happy Dads is fine because that's still technically liquor, right? Actually, I have no clue what the alcohol is in Happy Dads. But it ain't beer. So I think it's in the same family, the same tree as tequila. Tequila vodka, same thing. Yeah, like I think if we stay on the shot train, it could get ugly. So I am by myself tonight in the studio. So I'm going to have to leave y'all by yourself real quick. Mario says, do your best version of Eric Collins in the second half. No, we've got the water here. We're making it happen. We should probably continue to drink that. I'm going to go grab some Happy Dads. You stay here. I'll be right back. We're back. We're back with goodies. We're back with goodies during halftime. And I got to give a round of applause for you guys as well, because I did not anticipate me leaving and the viewership to stay the same. Usually, I've done this before, though. I have to go to the bathroom, go grab stuff, and there's nobody talking. There's just nothing on screen. On the right side is just like maybe like some support graphics. And most of the time, as expected, people leave because it's like, why am I sitting here watching nothing? But shout out to everybody who stayed and hung out. Shout out to all y'alls. And now we got some Happy Dads. We got a case here, just in case we really get wild. We got the lemon lime in the building, baby. Crack her open. Let's have a night, folks. Does anyone know, by the way, what is in Happy Dads? What alcohol is it? Does this say in here? It just says ingredients, carbonated water, alcohol, natural flavor. So it doesn't say at all. Does anyone know? Cane sugar fermented, that's how it is. Cane sugar fermented, that's alcoholic. I tell you what, I don't understand what is way that alcohol is created, that is perplexing to me. Doesn't make any sense. But we got a beer bong coming the way. Shout out to my guy, Jesus Bautista. The go. Woo! Friday night Heat Adventures. What a night, man. What a night. What a wild night. What a wild night. Ugh. My stomach is starting to fill up quickly. Actually, I don't know why. It's just like one happy dad. It's not like I have had that much. Good thing I had a high-protein rice dinner, I suppose. What's more entertaining tonight? The super chats off or in the chat conversations or the Heat game? I say the former. Definitely not the Heat game. Definitely not the Heat game, that's for sure. Update, by the way, 68-65 Pistons lead at the half, and the Sixers are up 44-38. So if you're someone who wants a higher draft pick, excuse me, that's the happy dad talking. Go Hornets, go Sixers. Shout out to the legends in the chat. Shout out to the legends in the chat, man. What a day. What a game. What a stream. This might be our lowest viewed watch party of the season, but it actually, thanks to you guys and your donations, might be the most profitable watch party this season. So my bosses will like that one. KBM says, there are any other streamers who film in the studio? Oh, yeah. KBM, this is a pretty big office here at Chat Sports. We have about 34 people that work in Dallas at this studio. We cover all 32 NFL teams at this point. We cover 9 now. We just started a Rockets channel. 9 NBA teams. We cover 1 MLB team. We have general NBA, general NFL, college football coverage as well. So we got a lot of people that work in this studio in Dallas, Texas. There's a lot of us. Right now, our Knicks channel is live. We'll be live on our new Rockets channel as well in an hour for that Rockets Timberwolves game. We do a lot here. Well, we're back to start the second half, folks. (72-52). And the Heat start with a turnover. Could you imagine if the Heat blew this 20-point lead? It would be cinema. Cinema. It would be absolutely cinematic. Coulibaly driving downhill with a slam. Could you imagine Bonsai? Guys, we need to lose. He's still going with that starting lineup they had. Adebayo kicks it out to Jakucionis. Kasparas, step back three, way off. Coulibaly pull up three, no. Rebound Julian Reese. It's kicked out and Leaky Black with a triple. So a 5-0 start for the Wizards. (5-0) start in the second half for the Wizards. Batista says if we lose, Adam Silver will know we're tanking. He can't do shit to us. He fucked us for the Terry Rozier debacle. Who, by the way, was waived today. If no one saw and watched the video, We reacted to the era finally coming to a conclusion. Wiggins just hit a three. We no longer will ever be talking about Terry Rozier. Thank goodness. Bub Carrington with a deep two. Drilled it. Kasparas Jakucionis fouled going to the rim. Jakucionis makes, I think, the pair. Yeah, he's got 6 points now. Exactly. We deserve more than a second-round pick. Now, I will be very appreciative of the 41st overall pick because I think the Heat could get a solid player potentially at that spot, maybe a backup big if they pick the right guy. I mean, listen, the Heat got Pelle Larsson at 44, and he is one of the more bright spots and impactful guys for Miami. So I think even in this new NIL era where more players are going back to school, the Heat are capable of finding good talent at 41. Fontecchio with a step back three. No. Rebound. Goes to Washington. It's a 14-point game, by the way. So certainly not done yet. Gill turns it over. Fontecchio open three. Kaboom. Fontecchio kind of going nuclear tonight. Yeah, it is. I will say it is nice. As frustrating as it can be sometimes about the Heat just being stuck in mid, I do think there is something to be said about our organization will not tank, and we aren't going to stoop to the level of purposely losing. I do think there's something to that. I think there is something to that. It's a good comparison. It's been drawn before. I think I said it on a stream in a show that we are the Steelers of the NBA. I mean, we are. The Steelers haven't won anything since 2000. When was the Super Bowl they won? Last one. 9, 10, when they beat the Cardinals. 2010, 11? One of those years. I think it was 10 when they beat the Cardinals. And ever since then, they've never had a losing season, but they are also not really a threat to win at all. They've made it to a couple conference championships, but they've lost most of those in blowout fashion. I mean, they got smoked by the Patriots a couple times, obviously. They lost to the Jaguars in the Blake Bortles era with the Killer Bees. So they were never good enough to win at all, but they were never bad enough to get a potential game-changing player in the top 5 or 10, and that's kind of where Miami is as well. Never good enough to win a title, but likely always in the postseason, and never bad enough unless you get a lucky lottery bump to get a top game-changing player. What's the hope for the Heat draft pick? Well, honestly, I just want a lottery pick. Right now, if the season ended, Miami would have the 13th pick in the lottery, so either they get that 4.1% boost into the top 4 or 1% boost to get the number 1 overall pick, which would be obviously pretty freaking awesome. Or they get a 13th overall pick and they get a lottery guy. I know it's like sounds small, but if the Heat made the playoffs and got swept, they'd have the 15th pick. And even if they have the 13th pick, as Bub Carrington hits a 3, I would rather have the 13th, obviously, than the 15th. And to me, there is like that pick, that little 2-pick difference means something, man. Like the difference of 13 and 15 could mean getting Yaxel Lenderborg, getting LeBaron Philon, and not. So yeah, I will take the 13th overall pick. So I'm picking 2 spots higher. And obviously, if Miami gets boosted in the lottery, that would be even better. Bilal Coulibaly sneaky up to 25 points tonight. I mean, he's got 25. Carrington's got 23. And now Julian Reese gets a layup to go. Timeout Miami. It's 87-73. Wizards fighting back a little bit. A little bit of a fight from Washington as it's a 14-point game. First time out of the second half. Prize Picks time. The playoff push is heating up, and there's no better way to cash in if you're right on the high-flying hoops action than Prize Picks, America's #1 sports picks app. Every bucket, every dime, and every win means more when you're playing on Prize Picks. And with their brand new team picks market, you can now pick game winners, spreads, and totals on top of the player picks you already know. So cash in if you're right during all the clutch buckets, slam dunks, and Cinderellas this spring with team picks on Prize Picks. My favorite thing about Prize Picks, the versatility you can play with. You can go basketball. You can also go season long on football already, like I have here. More on Myles Garrett sacks, more on Puka Nacua touchdowns, and more on Bijan Robinson rushing yards. Download the Prize Picks app today and pick your first game winner, spread, or total as the playoff push rolls on. And get $50 in daily fantasy lineups when you play your first $5 lineup when you use code CLNS. That is code CLNS to get $50 in daily fantasy lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Prize Picks Predict is a registered FCM offering team picks and culture picks as event contracts. Trading involves significant risk, not for all. The content provided is for informational and educational purposes only. It does not constitute investment advice, a recommendation to trade any commodity interest, or an offer to open an account. Chat Sports is not registered with the CFTC or NFA. Prize Picks Predict does not endorse or guarantee any statements made by third-party promoters or influencers. Please consult with a qualified professional before making any trading decisions. Appreciate Prize Picks for sponsoring today's stream. Looking at some NBA scores, oh my goodness, the Celtics are beating the Pelicans by 31. Pistons and Hornets going back and forth. Pistons up 1. 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. 76ers up 7 on the Pacers. Assuming Indiana loses and Philadelphia wins, as I mentioned, Heat will be locked into the 9-10 game. If both the Hornets and Sixers win tonight, the Heat will be locked into the 10th seed, which means they'd have to go on the road to either Philadelphia or Charlotte in the first play-in game next Wednesday, in all likelihood, will be in the 9-10 game. If they would win that game, they would go on the road to play the loser of the first play-in game on Friday. Excuse me. Got to send out a message here. Give me a second. Sorry, fellas. All right. Text I just sent. Had to do it. 14-point game. 6 minutes to go in the third. Pelle Larsson checks in for Jakucionis. Jaquez in for Bam. And Bilal Coulibaly steals it from Larsson. Gets downhill and can't finish. No foul. Miami running in transition. It's now Jaquez. Oh, they just missed Ware. Had him inside. Instead, it will be Fontecchio attacking, lobbing, and Ware gets it this time. And the big man is ultimately rewarded for the defense and rebound on the other end. Coulibaly over to Carrington. Oh, Carrington is on fire. "26 points. I just tweeted this out. I absolutely think Bub Carrington could be a player on a winning team. Like, off the bench, Lou Williams, like, energizer scorer. He can play a role, man. That guy can shoot it. He can score it. Speaking of shooting it, Fontecchio's going nuclear today. Did Juju Reese just make a 3? No, a 2. "14-point game. Wizards have fought back a little bit here in the third. Jaquez downhill, missing the floater. Rebound, loose. It will be a jump ball between Andrew Wiggins and Julian Reese, I believe. It will be Anthony Gill jumping for Washington, not Julian Reese. Tip won by Miami, right to Kel'el Ware, who misses the 3, but the ball will go off of Washington and it stays with the Heat. Larsson probing, pump faking, kicking, all the words. Wiggins now launches a 3. No, rebound Washington. They can draw closer. Carrington working inside. Throws it to Gill. Gill now attacks, loses the handle. I'll stay with the Wizards off Andrew Wiggins last. Carrington subs out. I have a take, not that it would ever happen, and not that the Wizards would do this. I know this could be liquor potentially talking tonight, as Anthony Gill gets a bucket inside. I would, no joke, trade Tyler Herro for Anthony Gill. Or not Anthony Gill, Bub Carrington. I think Bub Carrington plays the role that Tyler Herro does, but he's doing it on a rookie contract, and you're not going to have to pay him a shit ton of money. Herro is due for an extension. He's already made an all-star team, so he has expectations of getting paid. I don't know, man. I kind of believe in that take. I'd rather have Bub Carrington than Tyler Herro. Take. Oh my goodness, Anthony Gill just had an and one, and the Wizards are a free throw away from keeping this in under 10-point game. Like, I don't even think the Wizards would do that because for all the reasons I just mentioned why I'd want Bub Carrington, I think they would. And also a Tyler Herro, Trae Young backcourt would be maybe the worst of all time. I've said this before when Heat fans asked me if I wanted to trade for Trae Young in the past. Well, Herro's got to be in the deal because Trae Young and Tyler Herro on the same floor together would be a disaster. Anthony Gill can't make the free throws, so the lead stays at 10. Maybe this game isn't over yet. It'd be quite the comeback. It'd be quite the blown lead by Miami. Bam Adebayo quiets that discussion, knocking down a triple as he just checks back in. Who has more value, Herro, MPJ? I think right now, Michael Porter Jr. At one point, it was Tyler Herro, but after this season, I think it's Michael Porter Jr. Turnaround jumper from Julian Reese doesn't fall, and then Washington called for an off-ball foul. Yeah, Herro has had more value his entire career until this season. But Michael Porter Jr. averaging 26 a night, or it's 25 now, I don't know. And the Heat struggling, Herro's inability to stay on the floor. I think it would certainly be MPJ now. I don't think that's that surprising to say that either. Got over 200 people watching here on a Friday night. If you're just joining us, subscribe here as we will continue to bring you daily Heat content. We'll be live on Sunday for the game against the Hawks. And we'll be here for the play-in as well. Sorry. This is the one bad thing about being a one-man band is that I got to send out messages and respond to stuff that people are asking me while I'm still live on the air. So sorry about that, fellas. My thing, Batista, with the Tyler Herro discussion is you're allowed to have a bad year. We already saw when he could be healthy, but he's never healthy. Like, he's only had one season in his career where he has been able to play more than 65 games. And it was last season. Tyson, longly I have said yes to that. I don't think that's an issue for Detroit anymore. We'll see how the Pistons fare in the playoffs. They currently lead by 4 over the Hornets with 3:44 to go in the third quarter. But I don't think they would do that. I also don't know what the Pistons would offer. If the Pistons offer, do they have their first-round pick this year? I don't think they do for some reason. They don't, but they do have the Timberwolves pick. It's a swap. If they wanted to offer us the Timberwolves pick, as Larsson hits a 3 out of the timeout, if the Pistons offered us in the offseason the 21st pick for Tyler Herro, I would say yes to that pretty immediately, actually. Pretty immediately. When people ask me what I want to do in the offseason, Will Riley hits a corner 3. I said let Norman Powell walk. Trade Andrew Wiggins if you can. Trade Tyler Herro if you can. Full reset. I'm full reset, man. That's what I want to do. Accumulate draft picks. Reset this roster. Go young, man. If I was offered a first-round pick for Tyler Herro, I would, without a question, take it. Whether it be this year or in the future. Jaquez, corner 3. He stays hot from deep. He's been shooting it really well lately, folks. Missed shot inside for Washington. Heat in transition. Jaquez finishes an alley-oop feed from Larsson. $18-point lead. Miami on an 11-3 run after Washington got it to 10. Will Riley airballs from 3. Batista, you wouldn't take pick 21 for Herro? I think that's pretty good return on value at this point in Herro's career, especially when he is wanting a new contract extension this offseason. I feel like that's pretty good return at this point. Heat led by 20 at the half, currently lead by 18. Larsson with a little push shot, no good. Sharif Cooper in the pick and roll, getting inside. $18-point game. Half a second on the shot clock for Washington. Can they even get off a shot? They did. Didn't go in. $18 seconds left. Jaquez drives inside, hangs and finishes, and the lead for Miami back where it was at halftime, 20 points. And with the foul to give, Larsson with a little reach-in foul with 6 seconds remaining in the quarter. Two on the clock. Julian Reese missing inside, and that will end quarter number 3. Heat will enter the final 12 minutes up by 20. Fourth quarter time. Spam those fours. Spam those fours. Fours up. Fours up. Shout out Daniel, Zizis, KBM, Batista, Hot Dog. Spam those fours. Spam those fours, folks. Pistons up 2 with a minute to go in the third quarter. Sixers up 6 halfway through the third quarter. Those are the 2 games that obviously matter for Miami. Pistons now up 4. If the Wizards, wow, Jesus. Woo! Struggling. If the Hornets win and the Sixers win, for the people that haven't been watching, the Heat are locked into the 10 seed. Hawks are just destroying the Cavaliers. Hawks looking to clinch that 5 seed in the East. Shout out to Sad Miles, all typing those 4s in the chat. Batista says, Koa Pete, you are a Miami Heat. Heat or Pete to the Heat. It rhymes. Although I would not take him. Oh, we're back in the fourth quarter. I got jump scared. Bucket for Miami. I think the Heat are going to win this one pretty handily, if we're going to be honest. All eyes, honestly, are on the other games between Charlotte, Detroit, as well as Philly and Indiana. Agree, Bryle, but obviously wanting to get the best pick possible. The Heat would have to lose on Sunday, and the Blazers would have to finish the year 2-0 in order for us to get into a coin flip for the 12-13 spot in the lottery. Little turnaround hook shot for Keshad Johnson doesn't stick. I just think they probably sign Trevor Keels or Jameer Young or Vlad Golden to a standard contract. Not that it really matters because these guys aren't going to play, but if I had to choose, I would choose Trevor Keels because his role as a movement shooter with some size is what Miami would probably use more outside of a Golden big and Jameer Young kind of like undersized combo guard. So I would definitely choose Trevor Keels, personally. They ain't going to sign anyone off the streets. Like, if you want that, I'm sorry to tell you, that's probably not happening. Wizards get out in transition, draw a foul, 18-point game. Doubt Miami blows this one. It would truly be impressive if they somehow did. Well, the Wizards are just dropping it out of bounds, so it's pretty difficult for Miami to lose it. Gonna be real. Gonna keep it real. Jaquez, right wing 3. It goes. Jaime's shooting the ball well from 3. I think Miami should go into next season with the idea that Jaime is a starting player. Unless you trade him, of course. Like, I think Jaime should be slotted in at that starting 3, man. Keshad Johnson in transition to the rim, can't finish. Jaquez there for the offensive rebound. Kick out Jakucionis 3. Goes. And then a timeout for Washington. Oh, are they calling a foul? What happened here? Foul on Keshad Johnson. Pistons up 3 on Charlotte entering the final quarter. 76ers only up 5. Timeout. We'll tell you about our sponsor for the final time tonight. The playoff push is heating up, and there's no better way to cash in if you're right on the high-flying hoops action than Prize Picks, America's #1 sports picks app. Every bucket, every dime, and every win means more when you're playing on Prize Picks. And with their brand new team picks market, you can now pick game winners, spreads, and totals on top of the player picks you already know. So cash in if you're right during all the clutch buckets, slam dunks, and Cinderellas this spring with team picks on Prize Picks. My favorite thing about Prize Picks, the versatility you can play with. You can go basketball. You can also go season long on football already, like I have here. More on Myles Garrett sacks, more on Puka Nacua touchdowns, and more on Bijan Robinson rushing yards. Download the Prize Picks app today and pick your first game winner, spread, or total as the playoff push rolls on. And get $50 in daily fantasy lineups when you play your first $5 lineup when you use code CLNS. That is code CLNS to get $50 in daily fantasy lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Prize Picks Predict is a registered FCM offering team picks and culture picks as event contracts. Trading involves significant risk, not for all. The content provided is for informational and educational purposes only. It does not constitute investment advice, a recommendation to trade any commodity interest, or an offer to open an account. Chat Sports is not registered with the CFTC or NFA. Prize Picks Predict does not endorse or guarantee any statements made by third-party promoters or influencers. Please consult with a qualified professional before making any trading decisions. Appreciate Prize Picks for sponsoring today's stream. Here we go, back into the fourth quarter. Cooper with a midi bucket for Washington. 22-point game. Jaquez turns it over. Jameer Watkins missing the 3. Adebayo out and running in transition, swinging it to Keshad Johnson. And it'll be an over and back. What is Keshad Johnson doing? Pistons have opened up a 7-point lead, now a 10-point lead. And the Pacers down by 2. Is there a world Miami ends up as the fucking 8 seed? I'd be pissed. There's no way the Pacers are going to beat the Sixers, right? And there's no way that they're lose to the Bucks on Sunday, right? Will Riley to the rim, throws it away. Jakucionis with the steal. Keshad Johnson hop-stepping to the lane, puts it up and in. Ooh, Jakucionis almost got another steal. Will Riley missing the three, and Kaz comes away with the rebound. Kaz got a couple boards tonight. He's got 5 now. Larsson, Euro stepping to the rim, can't finish. Will Riley now goes to the rim. That's a good finish by the rookie. Goes right into the chest of Adebayo. Wizards don't get back and foul Keshad Johnson. Johnson made the first free throw. Wonder if the Knicks will play for anything on Sunday. That's who the Hornets will play. If the results hold tonight, which the Knicks beat the Raptors, they're up 14 in the third quarter. The Celtics are going to beat the Pelicans. And if the Hawks beat the Cavs, with the Cavs losing today, Knicks winning and Celtics winning, the Celtics are locked into the 2 seed. The Knicks are locked into the 3 seed. There is a realistic scenario where because of the Cavs losing tonight, the Knicks rest their starters on Sunday, which would give the Hornets a massive advantage to win and lock Miami into the 10 seed. That is if the Hornets ultimately do not come back from down 11 and beat the Pistons at home. So that's certainly something to monitor. Sign anyone for agency, our particular guy? I don't really have anybody specifically. We are at 93 likes. If everyone could just hit that thumbs up icon, being live here on a Friday night, that'd be very much appreciated. Can we get to 100 likes? That'd be great stuff, man. It'd be great stuff if we get to 100 likes. Please help me out. Hit that thumbs up icon. No reason not to. No reason not to. I haven't really looked at anyone that's going to be in for agency. I will be honest. Batista says Quinn Grimes, Robert Williams, Kobe White. I wouldn't mind Quentin Grimes. I don't know what he'd get in for agency, but that type of movement shooter and defender at the 2 guard position, I like. I wouldn't hate that. That's like a $10 million, $14 million per year contract. We've seen Grimes play some high-level basketball. I wouldn't mind that whatsoever. They're showing Chris Bosh highlights during the timeout. Never forget the behind-the-back pass from Wade to Bosh, and CB hit that high-arcing 3 to win it in Portland. Man, Chris Bosh, such an underrated player in NBA history. People forget how good CB was in Toronto, man. Yeah, did he take a back seat in Miami? Yeah, and he only averaged 15 a game. But Chris Bosh was dominant in Toronto before he signed with the Heat. And he had some unbelievable moments in a Heat uniform, which led to those 2 titles back-to-back in the 2012-13 season and then the 2011-12 season. Obviously losing in that 13-14 season to the Spurs. But Chris Bosh, man, legendary stuff. Yeah, I wish he didn't get stuck either. Like, people forget, obviously history would have played out differently. I mean, Chris Bosh was only like 36, 37 when the Heat went to the finals in their first year with Jimmy. Like, there is a realistic pathway that Chris Bosh was a backup big instead of Myers Leonard on that team that went to the finals and was there playing, mentoring, working alongside Bam and Adebayo. Like, that is a realistic thing that could have happened. You could have had Bam and Bosh playing together in the front court with Jimmy, Jay Crowder, Andre Iguodala after the trade, Goran Dragic, obviously, rookie Herro, Kendrick Nunn, the Duncan Robinson. The what-ifs, man, the what-ifs. Kasparas Jakucionis drains a triple. He's now got 13 on the night. Appreciate everybody helping us get to 100 likes, by the way. Alternate universe out there, man. CB had a lot more good years to give. He was still playing at a solid level when he was forced to retire at 33. Certainly wasn't like the dominant early 20s, mid-20s Bosh with Toronto, but good veteran big that could rebound, pass, get a bucket inside, shoot it. Oh, pretty move, Bub Carrington. As he gets a bucket, up and under. Even though this game is a 22-point game, I've come away impressed with Carrington's ability to score the basketball. I knew he could do it, but the movement shooting and off the dribble moves he's had, I've been impressed. Goaltending as Larsson is fouled inside. I think that's an and one. Certainly a goaltend. Maybe Riley got it as it hit the board. They're going to say no goaltend, 2 shots for Larsson. Makes the first free throw. Will Riley pull up midi? Goes. 4.5 to play. 21-point game. I really don't understand why Bam is still in. But Jaquez with a drive spin. Kick to the corner for Jakucionis. He can shoot it, man. He can shoot it. Now 4 of 7 on the game. Now up to 16 points. That's his, I believe, 3rd triple of the game as well. He'd have shot it well from 3. By the way, Charlotte down 16. The Pistons are going to win that game. So if the Hornets lose on Sunday to the Knicks and the Heat win, Miami will be the 9 seed, assuming Philly holds on to their 10-point lead against Indiana. But the Hornets are going to lose this one. That is for sure. Oh, I know why Bam's still in. Bam is 2 assists away from a triple-double. He's got 20, 10, and 8. That's my guess. Jakucionis 3 for 5 from 3 tonight. Goaltend on Washington. Jaquez gets a bucket after a turnover. Jaime with 21 points off the bench as well. So you've seen some promising things from Jaquez, potential sixth man of the year this season. Well-deserved, too. Kasparas Jakucionis, 16 points, 3 triples tonight. Heat are going to call timeout. Why? I don't know. But the Heat are going to improve to 42-39 on the year with one more game remaining. The Heat will have a chance to pass Charlotte in the standings if they lose on Sunday to the Knicks and the Heat win at home against the Hawks. Now, with that being said, the Knicks are likely not going to have anything to play for as the Cavs will lose tonight. And the Knicks win, the Celtics win, clinches New York into the 3 seed, Boston into the 2 seed, and Cavs into the 4 seed. So the top 4 seeds are locked in for the Eastern Conference going into the regular season finale. What will be changed is potentially 5 through 8. Because if the Sixers win and the Hornets lose, which looks like to be the case, the Hornets and Heat are both locked into the 9-10, and it will just be about who's hosting the first play-in game between Charlotte and Miami. It would be the Hornets with a Heat loss or Hornets win. Well, Hornets win, they get the 8-9 seed. If they lose, the Heat lose, 9 seed. Heat win, Hornets lose, Heat 9 seed. Yeah, but Atlanta's certainly going to try to play to win because right now, if you look at the standings, Toronto holds the tiebreaker over Atlanta. But with the Hawks winning and the Raptors losing to the Knicks, the Hawks now have the 5 seed and will clinch the 5 seed with a win on Sunday. If the Raptors lose on Sunday, if the Hawks lose on Sunday and the Raptors win, well, then the Hawks could go back down to the 6. And now the Magic, assuming they win tonight against the Bulls, which they're up 11 at the half, they'll have the same record as Toronto. So Toronto, Atlanta, and Orlando, depending on the results Sunday, could I still think interchange between 5, 6, and 7 in the standings? Looks like Philly is locked into the 8 potentially with their win today. So we'll see how things shake out in the Eastern Conference on Sunday. One thing seems to be clear. Atlanta will be playing for something on Sunday. Charlotte probably will to host that play-in game. Knicks won't. So the Hornets could easily be playing a lot of the backups for New York on the road Sunday. 76ers up 12. So it looks like Miami's going to be locked into the 9-10 game with the 76ers winning today. Under 2 minutes to go. Heat are entering their bench finally. Knicks are going into that final quarter up 15. Larsson draws a foul. Bam Adebayo is going to finish with 8 assists when he subs out, so no triple-double for the captain. Game 81 in the books as this game comes to a conclusion. Miami will be at home on Sunday against the Hawks for the final game of the regular season. 42-39 is the Heat's record. With a loss, they will finish the year 42-40. With a win, 43-39. Miami has already surpassed their preseason win total. When the odds makers came out with every team's over-under in wins, the Heat's number was 39.5. I took the over. Although this has been a disappointing season, in my opinion, for Miami, I did feel going into the year the Heat would win minimum 40 games with this roster. I was right. They got to 42, maybe 43. It's still a disappointing season for the Heat. I thought they could compete for the 5th or 6th seed this season. And let's just be honest, like, you can't erase the games, but it is crazy that the Heat did end up going 0-13 against the Magic, Raptors, and Celtics in the regular season. 0-13. Like, think about this. If the Heat went 3-10 against those teams, which would still be bad. Like, you go 1-4 against the Magic, 1-3 against the Celtics, and 1-3 against the Raptors, which isn't good. The Heat would be right now at 45 wins after tonight and competing for the 5 or 6 seed still. It's crazy how the Heat's inability to match up with Orlando, Toronto, and Boston has made Miami be so low in the standings. Like, you can't remove the games, and it's what is the issue. Like, the Heat's roster construction being so little and unathletic on the perimeter is the reason why Miami's 0-13 in those games. But it's crazy to think 3 teams actually is the reason Miami is below average rather than clearly in the playoff picture. Under a minute to go. Jameer Young, little elbow jumper. No. Rebound to Will Riley. I'll tell you what. We haven't seen a lot of Vlad Golden. Vlad Golden, I don't think, can play in the NBA, man. I know people were excited about him. I was intrigued when the Heat signed him because I thought he would be a second-round pick, and the Heat got him as a UDFA on that two-way deal, but this guy can't play, man. Heat are just going to dribble it out as this game comes to a conclusion. Might be the final time we can do this, so I know a lot of people, myself included, didn't want the Heat to win, but the Heat did win, and we'll spam those W's. Might as well. Spam those W's. Heat win. Might as well celebrate the potential last one of the year. It's a realistic scenario where this is the final one. Heat lose on Sunday and then lose in the play-in in the first game, and this is the last win. Spam those W's. Heat have been swept by the Raptors, Magic, Celtics. They swept the Wizards this year, beating them all 4 times. Hot Dog, KBM, Bonsai, Slaying Cat. Appreciate everybody who hung out with us here in tonight's Friday night stream. I mean, Jermaine, I'm with you on being down on the Heat, but like, you're saying it's the only team we can beat. We beat 38 other teams. Or we've picked up 38 other wins outside of Washington, so don't think that is an accurate statement. I really do appreciate the super chats from KBM, from Jesus Batista. You guys made this not fun Heat Wizards game a lot enjoyable. We'll have one more regular season stream on Sunday against the Atlanta Hawks. I'll see you then. Appreciate everybody for hanging with us. As always, go Heat.